Hello everyone, my name is Ross the Alcheminiaturist and this is a painting challenge. And in this painting challenge, I don't dry brush. It's not to say that I won't dry brush again, just not in this one. But without further ado, let's get going. First up is the 10-minute model. I'll do more talking in the 30-minute and 1-hour model sections and get straight to the meat and potatoes of this model. Like last time, it's sling paint first, think later. The first step was to get on dreadful Visage contrast for the skin tone, applying it liberally so that there's more of a depth to this paint, as I have found that this paint applies very thinly. Right up next was Fulgurite Copper, for all of the metallic and metal parts to bring out a nice starting color to pop against the skin. Next, we need to make sure that we have ourselves a nice hair color to pull some focus. This is where Bloody Red by Vellejo comes in. I especially wanted to make sure that we have one, and at most two, places that have color that pops. If everything pops, then nothing pops, and we want to have at least something that pops. The last part I wanted to get painted on its own separate color on the 10-minute model are her chitinous arms and legs. I left the more meaty parts of her pincers white, as the original plan was to come back with a pink to get them taken care of so they would have more of a block of difference. As you can see, I didn't get to it, but hey, that's what the 30-minute and 1-hour models are for, right? To be honest, the 10-minute model looks like it had about 10 minutes worth of painting done to it. It is not the best, but it's not the worst. That being said, let's get on to the next one. As you would expect, the 30-minute model is much more paint and labor intensive than that of the 10-minute model. Who knew, right? No? Just me? Anyway, back into painting, but this time we're going to super speed it, as it will basically be the same for the 1-hour model, just more care and time for the latter. So first, we will do daemonnette hide for the skin, Fulgurite Copper, like last time, for the armor, Bloody Red by Vellejo for the hair, Akryl's Sky Blue for the cloth that we didn't get to last time, Vallejo's Pink to blend the tail with the daemonnette hide, and later for the meat part of the pincers like I was talking about in the first model. Sixth is Akryl's Coal Black for the chitin. I later came back with some thinned out coal black to highlight the copper with a black and provide a little extra depth and almost obtuse type of shadow highlight, panel lining. I panel lined it. I don't know why this term eluded me for the entire time I was writing the script, but there you have it. A long-ish winded explanation with an even longer-ish winded explanation of what was up. Next we use Slaanesh Grey to highlight the skin of the daemonnette, Dead White by Vallejo for the eyes and a little highlight on the chitin, and part of the highlight of skin areas as well. Finally, Coal Black for the base, and GGEZ No Re. Sorry, that's my old League player in me. I definitely need to get that looked out. Ending thoughts of the 30-minute model were basically that overall, I'm happy with this model, and it is a very nice way to get an entire unit done in probably about an evening if you were to set them up like an assembly line and just paint the same section of every model at once and then move on to the next color, rinse and repeat until done. One night, one unit? That's a pretty good trade, to be fair. Next of course is the 1-hour model, and for this one, I'm not going to go through my entire painting process, the paints, and where they go, as it'll be down in the description, along with the rest of the timed paint schemes, and it follows quite simply the same as the 30-minute model, just a little longer. Instead, I want to talk to you about why I did this challenge again and what I had hoped I would be able to do. An introspective, as it were. Personally, I could have done this with more Skaven, but this year isn't about them for me. It's about Slaanesh, and I still have this unit to go before I can continue on with more models. Before starting this challenge, I primed all of the models with AK's white primer and then hit them with GW's white scar through the airbrush, as I have a lot of problems with paint wiping off while I paint. I'm pretty sure it has something to do with the oils in my skin or my hands or something, but it's better to just not take that chance than to mess it up and then have to do some panicking strategies to make sure that the model doesn't look patchy. Honestly, I liked my idea and planning from the last time I did this challenge. The make color blocks and then expand as I have more time. So that's what I did and am doing at this moment. The color blocks on these models are a little bit more simple, as they have skin, armor, cloth, hair, and claws/hooves. Separating everything into a block type helped me make it so that I could actually prioritize the way I painted these models, as they, to me, are a little more complex than the Skaven clan rats were. But that's likely due to the fact that the clan rats were bulkier than these daemonnettes. And boy are these daemonnettes lithe. I cannot tell you how hard it was for me to get a couple of their arms to stay in place while the model cement took its couple of moments to harden. A few times the arm just kind of slid off of where it was supposed to be and went to more resting on the hip or thigh of the model. But I just held it in place and waited the extra couple of moments to get it all done, and it worked out well enough. As I continued painting this model, I was trying to figure out my style of painting. Everyone has it, and 90% of the time, it's not really a thing that you can just fake your way into doing. You have to try, test, hate it, and then try something else until you figure it out. Sometimes it is quite similar to the heavy metal team's style, or even one of the popular YouTubers' styles, and sometimes it's something completely different. I found that I can emulate other people's paint style if I follow a tutorial, but that to me gets old very fast and doesn't really help me when I'm painting tons and tons of models. My style, as I've come to find out with this 1 hour model, is that of a faux oil painting. So I leaned into it for this model, caring just a little bit less about it looking super realistic and trying to make it more look like she had stepped out of a painting and onto the battlefield. I really liked doing this 1 hour model, and it turned out nearly exactly how I was hoping it would. But honestly, I don't know if I'd be willing to sink 10 plus hours into the painting of one unit. If I was going to submit it for a competition, I would definitely take as long as it needs and be 100% absolutely perfect. But this is a chaff type model, and it's going to be taken off the board in turn 1 or 2, and I don't really want to spend that amount of time on it. So I'm probably going to go with the 30-minute model, to be perfectly honest with you. My closing thoughts on this challenge is that they're kind of a mixed bag. On one hand, I'm over the moon that I have found a nice paint style that I like, and that the people that I sent the photo of this last model to liked it as well. As well as I can feel like I can see that I'm continuously improving, which is always a plus. On the other hand, I kind of wish that I had more canvas of a model to work with to do and develop this oil style painting. But that in itself is a very small problem that will most likely be fixed really soon. And that's it. There's the 3 models. I'll be painting the rest of the daemonnettes on stream on my Twitch. Link is in the description, sometime soon. So if you'd like to come by and say hi, I'd be more than happy to see you there. If not, I'll see you here. And as always, Keep your brush wet and your models painted. Goodbye.